business case number 1, buying target A, which is an actual deal I'm having right now in my roller. And we discussed the opportunity, the hurdles, which are seller finance and
this is hungry number 1. Hungry, right?
this one.
Okay. Number 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you ascertain? What conclusion did you come to?
So mainly 2 questions. First one is that seller has a tax issue. Because for 55, the tax reduction once in a lifetime, and
Why? What do you mean once in a lifetime?
Germany there's a tax law. If you're 55 years old, you can sell your business once in a lifetime, and you save about 25% of taxes. And so if you have
This is capital gain tax.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. And if you have seller which are younger, then we have this wait. We want to build them a bridge. The question is, just pay them more until.
Can you pay them off the 25% they're going to lose by not waiting until they're 55?
Yeah.
Why not just go to another seller? Fuck them. I mean, they're not motivated seller. Fuck it. I wouldn't even talk to them.
Okay. You wouldn't increase the price.
No. Fuck them. Next.
Just the price based.
No. Guys, I'm telling you how to do the fucking deals. Why do you fight? You either want to do deals or you don't.
Okay. Just go on the price and go.
I mean, no, fuck you. We had nothing to talk about. Did you know how old they were when you started? Yeah, they weren't 55, right? Why didn't you talk to them?
Okay.
So waste of time. Okay, what's the next one?
So keep it easy. That's the solution. Okay.
We'll build a big goal with that.
Well, what's the second one?
Same. It was.
You have 2 deals.
More or less.
The next one was just my current business, and
But we walk through this.
we just work through the.
And we take.
Did it take you longer than 30 seconds? No, seriously. Don't you see it? What are we missing here? Why don't you see it as clearly as I do?
Well, we're thinking.
No, because you're not that smart. Guys, you're not that smart at this table. You're not. You know, you got half my IQ. Half.
We have no experience.
No!
Right.
You have, exactly. You have no balls. That's what it is. You got no fucking balls. You're afraid of making a mistake. It's so, it took, 20 seconds? And this dude's no different than the group I just came from, or they're all the same. Well, I was thinking about the movie, and I was thinking about my granddaughter, and I said, say that again? This is about, in the first group. 4 or 5 minutes into the go. Say that again. I want to make sure I didn't misunderstand you. Next. If I hadn't been thinking about my granddaughter for a split second, and that took me about a minute or 2 minutes, so I think about you, honey, little bib. Why would you even do that?
What happens if nobody accepts?
Well then, you still do another industry.
Other industry or another round?
If everybody's waiting to be 55, well, first of all, anybody less than 55 is very rarely going to be motivated to sell. By definition.
Right.
Well, why would they want to sell? By definition. It's like the funnel that I told you about what's the Dutch guy's name? Frank. You all look alike to me anyway. Except he's 7 feet tall, so you don't look alike exactly. But Frank, I mean, as soon as he figured it out, after making 300 calls, unfortunately it took him 300, it should have taken about 3 calls. After 300 calls, he went back and looked at his notes. Instead of looking at his notes before he made the 300 calls, and he said, well, fuck, I mean, none of these guys are motivated. Duh. And so he realized that the really motivated ones are willing, to talk about. And now his email that he goes out sends, he says, self-financing. I mean, now he's really ballsy. He's done 3 deals. Now he's just self-financing. Call me. Owner financing. Call me. And guess what? He gets calls. Yeah. They're not to increase the price. Plus, it'll be harder to do when you go back to the bank. You go to the bank, and then, well, why are you paying more than the company that the business is worth? Oh, because he's going to lose money because he's selling before he's 55. So the bank's going to look at you, what are you, fucking brain dead? Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. Well, what about your crack dream team?
Good.
No, well, how are they so good? I mean, they fuck finger, what are they, stupid?
I don't ask them so many questions.
Well, I mean, if you're not, what are they there for? What are they there for?
Leverage.
Huh? No. They're supposed to be there for you not to have to take 25 years to build up generational wealth. That's what they're there for.
Their mindset is.
Well, then you got the wrong dream team. When we get back to
here.
Huh? No, I mean, you don't have to send them here. You got if they don't think back like that.
They're coming from the huge companies and they.
Well, they're fine. I mean, we got a lot of people from huge companies. I was on a Zoom call board meeting, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, and with one exception, they're all Americans. Procter & Gamble, GE, all these big companies. And so they're going through the shareholders agreement because we're buying something. Now it's time to have a board meeting. Okay? I'm not saying anything. I watched CNN, CNBC, the script. I'm listening, and I said, wait, stop. I said, go back and read that paragraph again. And I said, does this mean this, this, and this? And he says, no. And I said, well, that's not the deal. And then the other board members pipe up. No, Mr. Peña's right, it's not the deal. But they were just going to let it slide right under, because they got no balls. They got no balls. I said, oh, you're right, that's not the deal. So we got to because they're so hungry because they're getting something for free. And nobody's ever given them anything for free in their whole miserable life. Even this lollipop and the candy their parents gave them as kids had something associated with it. I give you the candy, you do what I say. I give you the candy, you act like you love me. Your parents never gave you fucking anything for free. Okay. What's the next deal?
I go through mine. It's very simple. It works.
Well, I mean, how come you didn't send me 3,000 pages?
It's nothing to send.
Exactly. There's nothing to send in any of them. Now, the guys that send me 3,000 pages, there's 4 or 5 of it. They're very quiet in
I
there.
want you to send 1 page. I want you to send 1 page.
But 1 page is enough.
So it didn't look good.
Yeah, but it's fine. And you put some color on it.
Yeah, I asked him what to do for me in the office. Yeah, so the deal is very simple, really. It's a company adjusted to the
Which one is this?
This is that one. Yeah, we have facilities management. It's the set is somewhat dated. From what I understand, the highlights really they are that the facilities management services, technical engineering, working with a multiple of high-value blue chip organization, providing comprehensive facilities management solution. Normally, companies like that they have a long-term contract between 1, 3, 5, and even 10 years, which is affects in multiples, whatever you want to buy it for. You can they trade in the market on the stock exchange about 15 times, I think up to 17, 18 times. And what we can buy it for, if the company is smaller in value, like the one that I'm actually looking at, so you can get it for revenue. For 15 million, oh yeah, okay. Turnover of 6.6 million. Year 16, adjusted EBITDA of, let's say, roughly about 10%, right?
So 1.6.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 10% of adjusted EBITDA, so it's roughly. So I would offer for this company about, my parameters would be 5.5
Times, yeah.
times.
So 1.6 times 5.5. 9. 8.5, 9. Okay, and so have the banks that's their lending rate?
The parameters would be, if you look at the deal, I look at the bigger companies and smaller companies. Bigger companies, they can get away even with the deals. The latest one I looked it was over 2 billion. The company was sold at I think 7.5 multiples. Private sale, the company was trading in the stock exchange. And they had problems, suffered some losses at that time. And once it was sold on this particular arm of this business, they expected partners, I think that financial partners that were looking after the deal, they were expecting 9.5 EBITDA. So because of the loss of that year, so they managed to get a good deal. And I think when the company is going to recover, going to trim off the loss-making operation, they should sell it in an open market for, I think, 15 multiples.
Yeah, but I mean, the private multiples are going to be lower than the public multiples because of the lack of liquidity. Although the private companies will want to get paid on the public multiples because that's what they see in the newspapers and when they pull it up on the internet. But the bank's not going to finance on the public multiples. The bank's going to want to finance on below the private multiples. But again, it depends on how motivated the seller is. Now, right now, because of the Trump train worldwide, there's two pools of assets. There's the assets for the guys that should have sold already that didn't. They want to take advantage of the upmarket. Those aren't motivated sellers. Okay? They're the guys and gals that have tried to sell for the last 10 years and nobody's bought them. For whatever reason, they are the motivated sellers. And so, but they're not looking to eke out any more money. They're only looking to get out. And this is their one time. So that's your market. Your market is, how long have you been on the market? How long have you been for sale? And well, that's private information. That's horseshit. If you don't, I don't like brokers, but if you deal with brokers, if you don't tell me, we're going to go on to something else. And so, and what they do is, because it was for sale from 2006 to 2014, and then there was a 3-month period where it wasn't for sale. So they tell you, but with the internet, you can go back and find out how long the fucking thing has been for sale. And so you want things that have been for sale a long time. And this is their last chance to get out. Now, the real news is that the Trump bump or era is going to last a while. But nobody knows. And I'm the only one that believes that, really. And I've been screaming it for almost 2 years. But there's still 5 years from now when it's done. And you haven't heard me say anything for 6 months. That's when everybody's going to believe it's going to last forever. I.e. crypto fuck. Blockchain fuck. Blockchain, I think, is here forever. Crypto fuck, I don't believe it's here forever. Okay? So, but right now, the people that have tried to sell heretofore, have tried to get rid of the assets, and again, are in their 60s or 70s. We just did a deal with a doctor, a medical doctor in California, who's 80. Well, he says he's 81. I mean, I met him. I mean, he looks 105, and he's sickly. I mean, he's perfect. He's perfect. He's a perfect candidate. I just hope he doesn't drop dead before the fucking signing. Because I've had that happen. Healthcare deal in Ireland. I mean, I drops dead on the motherfucking steps on the way to the notary. This shit.
One question. If you're looking for these kind of businesses, which are a long time on the market, sometimes these deals are not so good with
Sure.
margins. So turnover.
Yeah, but I mean.
Some turnaround company.
Yeah, but well, as long as it's, well, to me, if cash flow makes debt service, it's not a turnaround company. It may not be producing the cash flow it should be producing, but as long as it pays off the fucking debt, I don't care. You can call it what you want. You can call it what you want. I mean, they used to be called underperforming assets, meaning they weren't assets, they were in default. They were unperforming, not non-performing, underperforming assets. And that's what you come in with your management team, and they know how to increase assets. And that's how Sally and I got involved in the internet business in around 1999, 2000. A Chicago-based bank asked us to go in and turn around an internet business that they had loaned a bunch of money to, and they were on a 3-year. The workout people at the bank had a 3-year program to turn it around. We turned it around in 45 days. Sally fired 80% of the people. And said we're renegotiating all contracts effective March 1. And 70-80% of the people came to the table, renegotiated the contracts. The other 30% we fought with in court. We turn around 45 days. That's what I call 3clicks.com. 3click.fuck. The bank had around a 3-year program. Deutsche was one of the banks. Deutsche, ING, one other name escapes me. Because the young MBAs from school don't know shit. They're going to give 3 years to work it out. Sally was disappointed. It took her 45 days. Sally, we ought to be able to do this. Sally said, in 30 days. That took a little longer. That's why I used to salivate. When I see a young MBA come in from JP Morgan, the spit comes rolling down my cheek. I get so excited. So I was going to fuck him. Like I told the first group, or did I tell the whole group? One of my guys came to me and said that there's a guy says you trained him who's going to be a co-mezzanine. Did I tell you this? No. The first group. They're saying there are mezzanine guys. I used to be a mezzanine lender. I would like gap financing, bridge financing. Okay. And so one of the deals, this guy is involved in one of my mentees. He says that a mezzanine guy is bringing in another mezzanine guy, which means he doesn't want to share all the risk. It's got a lot of hair on it, meaning it's, so he's bringing in another mezzanine guy so they can split the risk. The guy they're bringing in is a guy I trained, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, thanks, you two.